Hi, welcome to Conversations with a Wounded Healer. I'm your host, Sarah Bueno. Before I get into today's solo episode, I just wanted to do a little commercial. So Scott Tusa from episode 21 of Conversations with a Wounded Healer is coming to Chicago. He is going to be with us on October 26th and 27th. And on the 26th, it'll be a Friday night, and he'll be doing a talk in the evening. And then on the 27th, Saturday, from 12 to 4, he's going to be doing a meditation and mindfulness workshop. So if you are in the Chicagoland area at the end of October, we would be so excited to see you at this event. So please check my website for details at www.headhearttherapy.com. Today is just me, and I have been struggling to sit down and record this episode. I have the intention of having a solo episode at least once a month. I've been getting feedback that people like the solo episodes, and I've been struggling to sit down to do this one because I didn't feel like I had anything to say. I tend to like to do these really organically, and often I'm doing enough personal work in my life that something specific will pop up and it's something I want to talk about. And I've been really struggling with this one. And I think the biggest reason I've been struggling to sit down and talk is because I've been struggling, period. As I'm recording this now, it's the beginning of September, and it has been a hell of a summer, y'all. It has been so hard. I feel like I've been going through the most difficult part of my professional life. I feel like I don't even have a personal life. My poor sweet husband can barely get me off the couch to go do anything. And I guess I wanted to talk about my relationship to that struggle. I've been thinking a lot about ego lately. And some time ago, I apologize for not getting back to this for such a long time, but I had a listener reach out and say, hey, I really want you to talk about defensiveness because I keep getting the feedback that I'm really defensive and I can't stop it and I don't know why. And I'm going to say that that has to do with ego. What I've been really thinking about lately, because I feel like this summer, for me, the lesson in all of the struggle has been a recognition of the fact that I'm going to fail. I've talked a lot on here about my perfectionism and how I've really struggled with it. And I think that that's what this summer is supposed to teach me. I have a terrible fear of disappointing people, and I've disappointed people, and I've let people down. I've let myself down. To tolerate that has been really uncomfortable. And I think it's all related to ego. And I think it's the same with defensiveness, right? We get defensive when we don't want to acknowledge that something is true, and it's easier almost for us to be hurt or mad than it is to just feel it, whatever it is that we're feeling. And I've been thinking about ego from a psychological perspective and a spiritual perspective because I've been reading a lot of books on Buddhism and just general spirituality. And I guess the theme of ego and all of that is that we're supposed to dissolve the ego and not take things personally. But then I think about some of the clients that I work with and myself in my younger days, and I think, well, shit, we have to have something to let go before we can begin to dissolve the ego. And so to my listener who was asking about that defensiveness, I wonder if ego strengthening from the perspective of shame resilience, self-compassion, empathy with others, and being able to have enough people around you who support you and love you and can give you positive feedback as well as constructive feedback. And I think that the only way to do that is just to continue to be exposed to it. It's practice, just like anything else. And then what I've been trying to practice lately, because I've gotten so much better at not getting defensive. It's funny, like I almost feel like I have two selves at this point. I have the human self that like constantly has these internal reactions. And then I've got the wise mind who's like watching it all going like, oh, wow, look at that pain. Look at that reaction. And I don't act out on those as much anymore, which has created a lot less chaos in my life. But I feel like the chaos is just kind of turned inward at this point. And all of the pain and all of the struggle and all of the suffering that I used to act outward toward other people, I now just act it inward toward myself. And shit, as I say this out loud, like I almost feel like I'm starting to cry with that recognition. And I told my husband today, the choices that I've made in my life, I sometimes fear, can I handle this? Am I supposed to do this? Did I make a mistake? I'm in this place where I've made these choices. I can't back out. Too many people are depending on me. I want this as well. And I have to change my relationship with the worry that I have of letting people down, the worry that I have of not doing it right. And I just have to change my relationship to it. And I think that a lot of that has to do with ego. And this is the ego disillusion dissolving that I'm attempting to, I want to say figure out, but this isn't a thing you figure out. This is a thing that you just feel, I guess. I don't know, you guys. I literally did not have a script for this. I'm just kind of talking off the cuff about my struggle and how hard it is to let go of the fear, of the worry, of the struggle. And I've had some experiences lately where I've been able to let go of the struggle and then felt weird about it. And I actually said to a friend last night, "Oh, is this what it feels like when you don't engage in the drama?" And she was like, "Yeah, I think so." So I don't know if this makes any sense to anybody else, but this is what I'm dealing with right now. And I told my husband, of course, he's always like, "How can I help? How can I help?" And, how can you help my inner struggle? And the thing that I came up with is I said, how about every morning when we get together to meditate, you ask me what I can let go of today? So I'm trying. I want to stop trying. Does anybody watch Schitt's Creek? It's hilarious. And there was a line that Moira said to her husband, Johnny, "You're so good at trying." And I continuously say that to my husband because it's just too funny. Anyway, I want to stop trying. I want to just allow. I want to allow myself to let go instead of continue to hold on to the ego, to the drama, to the fear, to the worry, to the desire for control. I just want to let go. And I want to continue to have faith. I have faith in the deepest part of me, but there's so much covering it right now. I want to let go of all of those things that are keeping me from that faith that everything is going to be okay. And I realize I'm in a position of privilege to be able to believe that and to be able to trust that. And I am tremendously grateful for that privilege and feel like I'm in a position to use that privilege to help others. So, deep breath. This is me trying to let go. And I invite you to think about, what is it in your life that you need to let go? Is it fear and worry? Is it control? Is it a relationship? Is it a job? Is there something in between you and the person that you want to be on a regular basis that's holding you back? And how do we lean into letting go? Well, thank you folks so much for listening today. As always, I'm Sarah Bueno, your host. And thanks as always to Andrea Klunder and Edwin Ruiz at the Creative Imposter Studios for editing. Thanks to Liam O'Donnell for the album art photo and to Ben Mueller for our theme music. Please visit us at www.headhearttherapy.com/podcast. And as always, you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, and all the other fun places that you get your podcasts. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, bye-bye.